City Councilman Nick Mosby that would ban liquor store owners from selling non-alcoholic goods to young people under 21. So we thought, let's ask him. He talked with WBL News. Let's get a little more from him. Nick Mosby, why did you introduce this bill?
Hey, Senator C4, I thought it was important for the community, but specifically in protecting of our children. Today we've developed this normalized culture of our liquor stores serving as the main merchandise arms in some of our communities. And we have some of our children in and out of these liquor stores on a daily basis, some before and after school and on the weekends. And I just think that this is generating a pattern that we do not need in our communities, specifically with all the systemic issues that we're facing today.
Well, Councilman, how would you answer? You just had a store owner named Mike. Mike says, look, I sell alcohol, but I also sell other items. He said, I don't allow young people to, buy alcohol. He said that I'm a responsible store owner. How do you answer those folks who say they're being penalized maybe for the irresponsibility of other store owners?
Well, it's not even the fact that I believe children have access to alcohol greater being in the stores. My whole thing is just painting the picture. So right now, the juice is directly next to the alcohol, right? So as a child, I know I can't buy that now, but eventually I'll be able to graduate into that. And Senator C4, I'm not against alcohol. I drink alcohol, beer, and wine, just like anyone else. I'm just trying to protect our children and call out that there's a root and fundamental issue in policy failure in our communities where liquor stores are serving as the main merchandise arms for those communities.
And I have mentioned before I came on air, Councilman, that Baltimore City, per square mileage, has more liquor stores than any city in America per square mileage. I mean, they're proliferated all over the place.
Yeah, and then if you even look at some of the social economic depressed areas of the city, it increases. Specifically, if you look at statistics around per capita, liquor stores per capita in the city, it's really astounding. So I think that for some reason we've grown this culture, and we've had policy failures that have allowed liquor stores to kind of corner the markets in some of our communities, and not just sell liquor. I mean, I'm all for liquor stores. If you want to be a liquor store, be a liquor store, but don't specialize in every flavor blow pop as well.
Let's talk to Don. Let's take some phone calls, Councilman. Don, you're on with Councilman Nick Mosby and me. Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, this nickname Nanny, because this is turning into the more nanny state. If he's going to do that, he needs to also have in the bill that any place that sells cigarettes can't sell anything to kids. Any place that sells, like a sporting goods store that sells guns or ammunition can't sell anything to kids. Any store that sells condoms can't sell, because you wouldn't want to corrupt the kids and let them see cigarettes, condoms, or guns when they're buying their juice or their blow pops, because that would just corrupt these kids. He needs to worry about the financial catastrophe of Baltimore City and spend his time figuring out how to fix the schools.
All right, Don. Well, Don, let me stop you, Don, because the way you're saying, Councilman, is where does it stop? In essence, his question is, if you start alcohol, where does it stop?
Yeah, so I think that was, you raised some good points. But I think people really need to look at the legislation. So what I did do was remove beer and wine establishments or places that sell beer and wine from the legislation. I mean, this particular bill is centered around the problem that we face in Baltimore, where our liquor stores have become our corner stores. Decades ago, in communities, because Baltimore is intertwined with very diverse and well-knit communities. We had liquor stores, but we also had corner stores. We also had accessibility to convenience stores in our communities. But for some reason, we have become accustomed, like any other city in this country, to allow liquor stores to serve as our main source of merchandising in our communities, and that's a major problem.
Don, thank you. Councilman, can you stay with me for one more segment?
Yes, definitely.
Baltimore City Councilman Nick Mosby is on. His legislation is causing folks liquor store owners to be kind of upset with him, but at the same time, you hear what he's saying. We're proliferated with liquor stores, and the normalization that young people have with going in for small items and liquor, that line gets blurred. It's time for traffic and weather. Together on the 5 is Jim Ross.
Traffic around the Beltway looks pretty decent. We have a work zone set up on the inner loop between I-95 and Arbutus and Wilkins Avenue. That is